Online. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ada, and today we're going to hear an awesome story about a man named Paul from Pastor Ben. And we're going to learn that knowing Jesus can help you change the way you see your problems. But before we get to that, we're going to sing some songs with Mr. RB. So if you guys will stand up and join us, let's sing along.
You're drowning out the lies of the enemy. You're turning up the anthem that sets us free. Your mighty name will ever be the soundtrack of our victory. We're lifting up your praise like a battle cry. The thunder of your name breaks apart the night. Your matchless grace will ever be the soundtrack of our victory. Our God, you will tear down these walls. Our God, you are invincible. The strongholds crumble like castles of sand as we shout out our Jericho song. Yes, all around the world we're the church alive. We're fighting on our knees with revival fire. Our King shall reign and never be the soundtrack of our victory. Our God, you will tear down the walls. Our God, you are invincible. The strongholds crumble like castles of sand as we shout out our Jericho song. And every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down. And every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down. Oh, every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down at the name Jesus. Oh, every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down. And every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down. Oh, every wall is crumbling, is tumbling down at your name, Jesus. Our God, you will tear down these walls. Our God, you are invincible. The strongholds crumble like castles of sand as we shout out our Jericho song. And our God, you will tear down these walls. Our God, you are invincible. The strongholds crumble like castles of sand as we shout out, as we shout out, as we shout out our Jericho song. Amen. God bless you guys. We're praying for you. Have a great day.
Hey kids, welcome to Kids Church Online. It is great to see you guys here today. My name is Pastor Ben, and I'm so excited to share a story with you. Now, I mean share in that you will be working on this story with me. We're all going to act it out together. This is Kids Spotlight Video. You guys are going to be helping me act out this story. All right, so go ahead and stand up to your feet and get ready to move around and be the characters in this story. I'll see you soon.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story.
So we've been following the Apostle Paul all around telling people about Jesus. Paul was a man who had faith. Faith is believing what you can't see because of what you can see. And so we're going to pretend to be Paul today. Can you go ahead and start walking with me? You can maybe walk around in a circle a little bit. Paul was walking around telling people about Jesus. Can you guys go like this? And go like this? He was telling people from God's word about Jesus. And many people were believing. But many people were also getting mad at Paul. And Paul had to run out of all the cities. Go ahead and run. Paul had to run away because people wanted to kill him or hurt him. Well, one day they actually caught him and they put him in prison. Now, Paul was in prison, and so go ahead and put your arms like this. Put them down like this. And then go ahead and sit down, all right? So Paul is sitting in prison. And while he was in prison, Jesus came to Paul. Jesus came to Paul in a vision. So go ahead and stand up and pretend to comfort Paul with your hand like this, like you're putting your hand on Paul's shoulder. It's okay, Paul. It's going to be okay, because that's what Jesus said to him. Jesus said, Paul, I have much more for you to do. Do not be afraid. And that gave Paul courage. Well, everyone stand up. If you're still sitting, go ahead and stand up. Now, Paul was taken to a place called Caesarea to talk to the governor. So they actually rode a horse there. So go ahead and put your hands like this, like you're Paul and you're shackled up, and you can ride a horse. Can you go like that? Ride a horse all the way over to Caesarea, where they talk to the governor. And Paul had a request for the governor. He said, Governor, I would like to be taken to Rome so that the king can hear my case, so that I can be tried before the king. And so Paul bowed down and made this request. Go ahead and bow down. He made this request to the king, or to the governor. The governor said, yes, you can go to the king, and your case will be heard in Rome. Now, Rome is exactly where Paul wanted to be because people there had not heard the good news about Jesus, and he wanted to tell them. Well, he got with a commander, a soldier named Julius. Can you go like this? Julius. He was a soldier. And Julius was going to take Paul all the way to Rome. Well, they got in a boat. Okay, so go ahead and get in a boat. Okay. Sit down. And start rowing your boat, okay? So they started going to Rome, and first they stopped at Sidon where Paul saw some friends. So go ahead and wave. Hey, everybody. Hey there, Archelaus. Oh, look over there. It's Matthew. Hi, everybody. So he saw his friends, and then they kept rowing on to the next stop. And the next stop was a place called Cyprus. And at Cyprus, they got into a huge Egyptian boat, and they were going to go the rest of the way to Rome. So get out of your little boat. Okay, now jump into your big boat. Okay, sit down. You can start rowing. All right, well, in this big boat, they encountered some storms. Okay, so row a little faster. All right, and they finally made it. Okay, you can stop rowing now. To a place called Fair Havens. Now, Fair Havens, Paul said, guys, we should just stay here. In fact, Paul, he said, if we keep going, we might lose our ship. We might even lose our lives. But the captain of the ship, he really wanted to go a little further. So he looked around, he said, we're going to keep going. So when a gentle breeze came through, they went out of Fair Havens, and they were trying to make it to Phoenix. All right, so go ahead and jump back in your big boat and start rowing again. Okay, but there was a problem, a huge problem. There was a what? That's right, a problem. As they were going through the ocean, a huge hurricane struck them. And the waves were huge, and the wind was strong, and they were lost at sea. They didn't know what to do because they couldn't even see the sun. It was that dark. It was that scary. And they were rowing with all their might. Go ahead and row with all your might. Go, go, go. But it wasn't making any difference. It didn't even matter how much they rowed. The waves were so big, they were starting to tear apart the ship. And so they started throwing things overboard. Can you throw some stuff overboard to make the ship lighter so it would float better? You throw stuff overboard, and then they took ropes. Can you take your rope and fling it down, bring it up on the other side, and they tied these ropes all around the boat to hold it together so it would be stronger. But nothing was working. They had a big problem. However, in the middle of all that, an angel came from God, and he talked to Paul, and he told Paul, look, God is going to protect you. God will save you and all the people on this ship if you stay on the ship. Well, everybody's working, everybody's rowing, and then suddenly, Paul sees some guys that are trying to escape. They're trying to take the little boat and go somewhere else. They're trying to abandon everyone. Well, Paul says to Julius, look at those guys. Can you point over there? Look at those guys. They have to come back because they are trying to escape. If they escape, they will die. And so Julius and his soldiers, they took their swords. Can you take your sword, raise it up high, and crash it down? And they cut the ropes to those boats, and the boats fell right off the ship. And everyone stayed on the ship. Well, they were sailing for 14 days. They were trying to get out of this storm when finally they landed at Malta. And it was tricky because they had to take the ship and run it into the bank. They had to destroy the ship. And so everyone take your oar, your steering wheel for your ship, not the oar, but the steering wheel, and steer the ship right into the shore, right over there. Here we go. We're going to bump it. Oh, okay. They finally made it to land, but there was a problem. Their ship was destroyed, and they were not yet at Rome. They still need to get to Rome, and they were on this island somewhere. Well, they were very happy to be there, and the people that lived there, it was a place called Malta, they came out and they wanted to help them. So they started gathering sticks for a fire. Can you pretend you're Paul, you're gathering sticks for a fire, okay, and then go, out! A snake had come out of the sticks and bit Paul on the hand. Well, all the people of that island, they know that this snake is very poisonous. They thought Paul was going to die right away, but Paul shook the snake off, and he was just fine. So go ahead and shake the snake. Shake it, shake it. Okay, the snake fell into the fire, and Paul, he didn't even get sick. And everyone was like, can you do that? He's okay. Well, everyone was so amazed by that Publius, who was like the governor of that island, he wanted to see Paul. So Paul went, he met Publius, and he learned that Publius' dad was sick. All right, so everybody lay down. Go ahead and lay down right here. There we go. And then you have to look sick. Bleh. Okay, so Publius is sick. Paul comes, and he asks God to heal him. All right, so can you guys pray? Put your hands together, stand up, and go ahead and pray. He asked God to heal him, and guess what? God did heal Publius' dad. So, after Publius' dad was healed, the people of the island, they rejoiced. Can you guys jump for joy? So they were so happy that Publius' dad was healed that when summer came and they could sail again, they gave them ships, they gave them supplies, they gave them everything that they needed to make it to Rome. So they get to Rome. Paul is placed under house arrest, which means that he was in the house, but he couldn't leave the house. And Paul keeps telling people about Jesus. Now, that was a crazy story, and we saw lots of problems. Paul had a couple problems. He was put in jail. He was shipwrecked on an island. A huge hurricane came up, and so Paul had all these problems going on, but guess what? God protected him and helped him through all those problems. Can you guys show me a number one? All right, number one, with problems, God will give us the strength to get through problems. All right, that's number one. Can you say, God will give us the strength to get through problems? Can you say that? God will give us the strength to get through problems. See, knowing Jesus helps us see problems differently. Number 2, can you guys show me number 2? Number 2, Jesus will make good come out of our problems. Jesus will make good things come out of our problems. See, that's what God does. He gives us strength through problems, and He makes good things come out of our problems. And so when we run into problems, just like Paul ran into problems, we can trust that God will give us the strength to get through them and that He will help good things come out of them. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us for Kids Church Online. I'll be praying for you that you trust God with the problems that are in your life. All right? Have a great rest of your day.
Hey guys, welcome back. So a few weeks ago, Miss Dawn taught you the meaning of our memory verse, Ephesians 2:8. And today, we're going to learn some super fun motions to help us remember it, okay? So follow along with me. For it is by grace you have been saved. All right, do you think you guys can do that? All right, it's your turn. Great job. Now it's through faith. And this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. You guys, it's your turn. Ephesians 2:8. Great job, guys. All right, we're going to have a friend do the verse for us, okay? Follow along.
For it is by grace you have been saved through faith.
And this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. Ephesians 2:8. Great job, guys. Keep practicing, and we hope to see you soon.